Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my videos. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 6, which is being released on the 7th of March this year, so not long, about a week ago. It's next Saturday that they're being released. They're actually only being released on Netflix, whereas in the past they've been shown, I think it's been shown on Cartoon Network, Sky Premiere, and other bits and bobs, other few channels as well, I think. But they're just coming to Netflix, and this is because, as you all know, if you're a Star Wars fan out there, Disney have taken, have bought out LucasArts, I think it is, and one of the first things they did after announcing that they're going to make new films was actually cancel the Clone Wars, and this was such a bummer for me. I mean, I'm such a massive Clone Wars fan. It's been such a hit series. Everyone loves it, and it's really good. And you've got so many new characters, like you got Ahsoka, you got Captain Rex, and then you've got a few others here and there that are so lovable and you love. And it would be really actually sad to see it go. But actually, you have what Disney have brought in as the substitute of the Clone Wars, which is Star Wars Rebels. Now, a few characters have already been released for Star Wars Rebels. I'll probably cover them in a future video, but this one's based on Star Wars The Clone Wars. Now in this video, whilst I'm talking, I've recorded some Star Wars The Complete Saga, some Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga gameplay, just so you can watch that as I talk about Star Wars The Clone Wars. Okay, so this new 13 episodes of The Clone Wars is coming out. And basically, they've done this just to tie up any loose ends, and they had to really give it an ending after Disney cancelled it. So they're releasing 13 new episodes on the 7th of March, and all seasons and these episodes are coming on the 7th of March on Netflix only. So yeah, I would encourage you to get a Netflix account, because you know, if you're a Star Wars fan, you really don't want to miss these. I'm going to be going through little bits of the trailer which shows good bits and interesting bits. Okay, so first of all, the main bit about this trailer is there is a clone, part of the 501st Legion, which I believe is Anakin's clone battalion. There's a member of them when they're on a mission. I think they're on a mission with two other Jedis. There's a pink one, there's a green one. Not even sure their names, but one of these clones says he must follow orders and shoots one of the Jedi, and she dies. Okay, now after containing them, Rex does his thing, he contains him, but no one really knows what's going on. I will put the trailer in the link below, so you must check that out. It's really good, and yeah, it will just get you so buzzing for the 7th of March, just as I am now. So yeah, part of the 501st Legion kills a Jedi. No one really knows what's going on. This is when, you know, Count Dooku realizes, and he's like, he talks to the people on, I've actually forgotten the name of the world, but, or Kamino, that's the one, the world that creates the clones, so like Luma T or whatever it is, they make the clones. He talks to them and he says that Order 66, which we know is the order that Sidious gives to the clones to make them attack the Jedi and kill the Jedi, it must not be found out by the Jedi, because Darth Sidious's plan of getting Anakin turned into Darth Vader is not yet complete. Okay, so he talks to them and he's like, it must not be found out, you have to do something to prevent this. There's also the other massive part of this trailer is a Yoda arc. Qui-Gon Jinn contacts Yoda. We know that Qui-Gon Jinn's dead, but Yoda is a very powerful Jedi, as was Qui-Gon Jinn, and Yoda, I think he's just meditating, and he hears Qui-Gon speaking to him, and so Qui-Gon Jinn tells him to go to Dagobah. He's got a massive journey ahead of him, and I mean, like the music in the trailer and stuff, it really gets across something really big is going to happen. Okay, we actually see, which is really exciting, and I think this is the main bit of the trailer. The most exciting bit is we see Yoda fighting Darth Sidious. Now we don't know when we watch episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, we don't know if Yoda actually knows about the well, you know, the person highest up in the Sith. We know that there is one, but we don't know if Yoda has ever met him before. Obviously he doesn't know who it is, but then it gives the impression that, as you know, Yoda's such a powerful Jedi, maybe when he's battling Sidious, surely he might be able to realise that it's actually Palpatine. And now, well, this brings up a theory in my head. It's not a very good a theory, and I don't like it a lot. But what if Yoda has actually gone on all this epic journey, part of his arc, but actually in the end something happens to him, like, I don't know, he gets captured, he gets taught to, you know, not remember any of it. I think that would be a real bummer, because Yoda comes across as the most epic of Jedis, and I think this would be a real disappointment if we see this. But if you're a big Clone Wars fan, you will see in one of the episodes where R2-D2 and C-3PO, they go out to get some, like, topping for a cake or something for Padme, and they actually get kidnapped by Cad Bane, and they get their memories erased. But that is a droid, and Yoda is not a droid, obviously, so it might be a bit harder. That's just a theory I had. I obviously would not like to see that happen. That's just one of my theories. It also shows, just after it shows Yoda fighting Sidious, it shows Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker fighting Dooku. Well, this is nothing new. We see them fight at the start of Revenge of the Sith. We see them fight a few times about the Clone Wars. So that's nothing new. It's just a nice little bit in information. But there's also another really big bit that I haven't mentioned yet, and some of you will love this. It's actually Plo Koon, that's on a very snowy planet. He's got some clones, and he finds that he's looking for something, and he actually finds it. He finds a ship, okay, and on that ship he finds a lightsaber. As he's talking about lightsaber, you know, in the trailer Yoda's talking about Sifo Dyas, so I gather that it's Sifo Dyas's lightsaber, okay. But looking at some of the comments on StarWars.com and some of the comments I've seen, a lot of people are saying that, well, actually thought that this was Darth Revan's ship. Darth Revan, you know, the ship that is seen on the Old Republic for PC, and a lot of people thought that way. But I think now it's kind of consolidated that it actually is Sifo Dyas's lightsaber, you know, before he turned, or maybe it was after he turned to the dark side. Maybe this is part of the mystery, which is actually why Sifo Dyas, which is Count Dooku, if any of you are wondering, turned to the dark side. So just clearing up, Sifo Dyas is Count Dooku. Sifo Dyas is his actual name, but when he turned to the dark side, it was Count Dooku. Okay, now this is a big part of the story, but we don't really know that much about it. Not as much as we know about the other things. So yeah, back to the clone killing the Jedi. I was thinking, maybe, well, it says in the trailer that this clone doesn't remember anything. Rex, I think it's Rex that's talking to Anakin, and he says this clone that kills this Jedi and said he must follow orders, which I'm guessing is Order 66. He says he doesn't remember anything. This is indicate, I know, brainwash or something, but I don't see why the Sith would do that, because they want to try and keep the Order 66 secret until Sidious's plan is complete. Okay, but this kind of brought up the idea in my head that, you know, all clones are manufactured on Kamino, they're all built, they're all genetically engineered, but maybe this clone that's killed this Jedi, something's gone wrong, somewhere in a gene somewhere, something along the way has gone different, and so he is executing Order 66 right now. And obviously that's not what anyone wants really, apart from maybe the Jedi. Maybe they want to find out, if they find out now and Sidious hasn't, you know, already, you know, persuaded Anakin to join the dark side, maybe it would have been a completely different story altogether. But there might be something wrong with this clone. I mean, they contain him and they strap him down. We don't really know what happens from there, but we know that there definitely is something wrong with him, and he does kill the Jedi as seen in previous trailers. We also see This isn't in the trailer. I'm going to put in the link below, like the main trailer. But there was a trailer before that one, which was one of the first ones of Season 6, after the Plo Koon's discovery, which is Sifo Dyas' lightsaber. There was actually a clip that showed the main bit of the clone killing the Jedi. In this clip, it is shown that Admiral Trench is alive. Admiral Trench, for any of you that don't know, he's a separatist commanding officer. He was believed to be dead. Anakin supposedly killed him on a missile. Maybe some of you have seen that Clone Wars episode. There's like a war going on down at Christophsis. Ooh, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Apologies. And Anakin leaves to try and destroy the ship, not knowing that Trench is on it, but actually Admiral Yularen actually has fought him before and knows him. It is believed, just as the missile is about to impact his ship and the bridge, he says for all the droids to stay there, and he goes out the door. Now we don't really see any like pods escaping or anything, so I guess there was always that chance that he would survive, but it's confirmed that he's alive, and part of him is now metal, so he's not all what he was, which is some massive weird bug thingy. He's now part metal, so that's a nice little bit there for all of you Clone Wars fans. There's also a bit in the trailer that shows once again Padme, or Senator Amidala, getting captured again. She actually gets arrested, and we see some droids behind her. We actually see her with one of the people that's been seen in Clone Wars before. There's an episode where there's conspiracy against someone that used to be in the Republic, who's a banker working with the Separatists, and Padme goes there, you know, almost tries to seduce him and almost, you know, find out what's going on. And Anakin goes with her, and it's believed he's dead because he helps Padme get away after she's been poisoned by Newt Gunray. And we see him again. I've forgotten his name, I'm afraid. I apologise. I've forgotten his name. But we do see him again, and we see Anakin trying to rescue Padme and him as well. And we see a bounty hunter, which is a really epic bounty hunter. Again, has been in Clone Wars. He's the one with the massive hat. He slides on the hat. Yeah, he's a great shooter. We see him fighting with the Jedi at some points, like in the farming episode with the pirates. But we see him fighting against them in this trailer. We also see, which is really awesome, all around this Yoda arc sort of time, we also see Mace Windu and Shaak Ti. Obviously you guys know who Mace Windu is. He plays a much bigger part than Shaak Ti does. Shaak Ti is part of, she's the same sort of race or species than Ahsoka Tano is. I've actually forgotten what species that is. But she's a Jedi, and you might know her. But actually shows them in action against, I don't even know what they are, but they're not droids. They're massive sort of beast things. And this actually shows that even though Yoda's off on his own little adventure to find out the truth, maybe it's something with Order 66, we don't know that. Actually see some other people of the Jedi Council, some higher up people, like Shaak Ti. There hasn't been a lot on Shaak Ti, and Mace Windu. We actually see them kicking some ass. Okay, and which is really cool. Because normally it's just based around, you know, Anakin, Obi-Wan, normally Ahsoka, but she's gone now. Yeah, that's another good point. Ahsoka hasn't been seen in the trailers, so I'm assuming that the ending of Season 5 is the last we're going to be seeing of her. Although I think it was a good ending, but, you know, it would make sense if she was in it at some point. But yeah, I'll probably leave that for another video. There is just a bit about Anakin's 501st Legion. So this is Anakin's battalion of clones. He has his own battalion, and actually they are all full of personality. You see in, I think it's Season 4, I think it's Episode 9 to Episode 13, you see the Krell, I think it's 4 episodes of General Krell. If you haven't seen that episode, it's basically where they go to Umbria, it's a dark planet, to fight the Separatists, but they fight like these weird things that are associated with the Separatists. Anakin has to go back to the temple, and so General Krell, another Jedi who has 2 double-ended lightsabers, takes over. His reckless strategies cost a lot of Anakin's men to be killed, The clones don't agree with this and know they're going into suicide missions, and so they do other things to prevent it. But General Krell, you know, is not happy about this at all. And there's actually a bit where Fives, Hardcase actually dies. They go on a mission because they know that the mission that General Krell set them, they're going to die. They're not going to win. So they go on their own mission. It's Fives, another clone, and Hardcase. Hardcase stays behind because the mission doesn't go as planned. And he kills himself and blows up the station. And kind of saves the rest of the clones, because the clones were other clones in his battalion, the 501st, were going to go out, and it would have been pretty much certain death for them, because Krell's tactics, you know, he would have got them killed. Then Fives and the other clone returned. They were locked up by Krell, and they were ordered to be executed by the clones. Rex, who's one of my favourite characters, tried to stick up for them as much as he could, but he couldn't really do that much. Now, this is where it gets interesting if you haven't seen the Clone Wars. Right, this that little arc of episodes. Krell, the clones are sent to kill their brothers, really. Fives and this other clone. And when they do it, they shoot, but they all miss, because Fives is trying to persuade them that is wrong, which it is. General Krell is actually trying to kill them. You don't find that out till a bit later, but he is. And so, they don't actually kill them, and they all know it's wrong. But then, just as Krell's about to take action, and probably would have done it himself, he gets a message from a clone saying that they're under attack, and that the enemies are using their armor. So General Krell sends, I think it's Obi-Wan's clones, or maybe a different thing of clones. He sends them to the same coordinates where he sends the 501st Legion, which is Anakin's Legion, which Krell is in charge of. And he sends them to the same coordinates, and because they think the enemy's using each other's armor, they fight it out and they end up killing their brothers. I mean, think about that. They're clones, they're all brothers. Every single one of them is a brother. They're fighting each other for no reason, thinking it's the enemy, and you're killing your own brother. And you've got, I mean, they're devastated. I mean, wouldn't you be? It's a horrible thing that General Krell did. At this point, they take action. Rex, who is the commanding officer of the whole battalion, he's the highest rank up. He's going to take action against Krell. And he takes action against Krell. They try and arrest him, and they capture him, and in the end, Dogma kills him. And that's that little arc. So, yeah, you see, this Fives clone is also another one like Rex, who is seen a lot throughout the Clone Wars, and he's actually shown in this trailer quite a bit. He's shown, there's a brief clip of a clone wearing what Fives is shown to be wearing in the trailer, actually getting the gun and taking out another clone. We don't really know too much about this. We're going to have to wait till the episodes. But yeah, I find that really interesting, because Fives is another one like Rex, has a lot of personality, we know a lot about, and he's no stranger. So yeah, there's also the ending, okay, of the trailer is really, really, really interesting, okay. I was expecting, like always, as it's the final season, there's going to be a big ending. I'm expecting a very big ending. On this trailer, I was expecting the big ending to be on this trailer of something, you know, maybe to do with Yoda, something really significant. But actually, it turned out to be Fives, who's meeting with, I think it's a medical droid, some sort of droid, and the droid calls him by his number, his actual clone number. He tells the droid that no clone goes by their number. And then Fives goes, my name's Fives. Try calling me Fives. The droid says the difference is minimal, there's not a lot of difference between it. And then Fives says, not to me, and not to any other clone. But it's said in such a dramatic way, and it's the very last thing, and all the music cuts out, and it's just him, and it's focusing in on his face, and it's getting closer and closer, and it's such a powerful statement, how he actually says it to this droid. And this actually, when I first saw it, I thought, you know, it's not a big deal, it's just a clones, they're full of personality, but maybe this is something bigger. I mean, you see the clone that kills the Jedi, maybe something has happened to Fives, there's going to be a lot. I feel that there's going to be a lot on clones in these last 13 episodes of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and I just feel like that's much more significant than we actually think it is. So I'd urge you to watch the trailer. It's going to be so good. Now, on the subject of clones, one thing I was thinking about is actually Captain Rex. Now, Captain Rex, he's just a Clone Wars character. He is probably the best clone I've seen. I don't think I've seen a better clone than Captain Rex. I mean, you have Commander Cody, but I don't think he's nowhere near as good in combat and stuff as Captain Rex. Captain Rex, you see, you know, like in Season 4, when they get enslaved, him, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, and Anakin. And actually, even without a gun, he's great at combat. He's funny, he's witty, he gets a job done, and he would do anything to save his brothers, to save Anakin, and to save anyone he cared about. Captain Rex is one that is not seen in the actual movies. We know this is just before Revenge of the Sith. He's not seen in Revenge of the Sith. And Captain Rex is one of the most loved characters in Clone Wars. For me, reading the forums and everything like that, Captain Rex is so loved. And I mean, we all know what happens to the clones in the end. Sidious tells them to execute Order 66. Now, I think it'll be really disappointing if we see Captain Rex actually execute. Just think about it in your head for a moment. If you're a Captain Rex fan, imagine him actually executing Order 66 and killing Jedi. It's just something it's just painful to think about, because he's so loved, and and everyone just loves him so much. It would just be so annoying to actually, if he doesn't get killed off, know that if he doesn't get killed off in the Clone Wars, the likelihood is he survived and actually executed Order 66. Obviously, the clones have no idea about Order 66 until Darth Sidious actually tells them to do it. They have no idea, so they protect Jedis like they will die for Jedis like they're supposed to do, like they've been programmed. But I think Captain Rex has been such a big character over all 6 seasons of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I think he really needs a big exit, and as much as it pains me to say this, I would probably like to see him get killed off, because I don't want to have that kind of thought in my head that he would execute Order 66. I just want him to have a dramatic ending, and a good dramatic ending, because I feel like a lot of it has been around him, and I feel like, well, maybe not him be the centre of a whole episode, but I think if they are going to kill him off in some way, it has to be very big, because he's a very big character, and he's been through a lot. So yeah, check out the trailer that I'll put in the description below. It's such an epic trailer. You'll love it. Any of you Star Wars fans, it looks deeper into the Order 66 and stuff. You've gradually gone through the Star Wars: The Clone Wars seasons. We've seen them progress more towards Order 66 and this Season 6 that's going to be released in about a week or so time. So I can't wait for it. If you enjoyed this video, I will actually be doing some Star Wars Rebels videos in the future, so if you want to see them, please subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up, because it helps me out a lot. I'd really appreciate that. So please, I'd really urge you to check out the Star Wars: The Clone Wars Season 6. It's coming out on Netflix. Don't miss it, because you'll love it. No matter what your age is, you'll just absolutely love it. And so yeah, so please like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys on my next video.